Colonel, you say that the complainant, Mr. Adams, came to IDAC and complained about the progress or lack of it on the dockets. Did I understand you correctly?
Commissioner, I just want to correct there. I don't know whether he came to IDAC or where.
Or where you, but you did talk about him complaining.
The complaint.
About the lack of progress.
Yes.
And if he did not come to IDAC, how did his unhappiness about the lack of progress come to IDAC? I'm sure you've explained this, but I just want to understand, because I sort of assumed that the complaint was made to IDAC, which is what brought IDAC into the picture. So if he did not complain, or rather make his complaint at IDAC, did he make it where? At SAPS? And if at SAPS, where within SAPS? I'm sorry if you've touched on this. My questions stem from my misunderstanding, because, as I say, I thought the complaint was made at IDAC.
Commissioner, the complaint, everything is in the referral. So he made his complaint in the referral. So he gave his allegations and whatever and complained. He opened dockets, but nothing. So it's in the referral.
A Section 27 referral. 27 referral. To
That's
IDAC,
where it is.
To IDAC.
Yes. Why he's bringing it to IDAC? I'm bringing this complaint to IDAC because I opened the cases there. It's in the Section 28 referral.
So I'm correct then when I say the complaint was made at IDAC.
Okay, sir. No, when I take it I've been at the office of IDAC, or did IDAC go to him, or he came to IDAC? So it's just that I was trying to get.
Two. The complaint was made to IDAC.
To IDAC, yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the at and the two. The complaint was made to IDAC.
You're confusing me, because I thought you were saying no. That's why I wanted to know, if not to IDAC, then who was it made to? So complaint made to IDAC.
Went to IDAC, sir.
And as the complaint was being made, it was a Section 20.
Thank you, Chair. And the complaint to IDAC, was it a complaint about failure to investigate the dockets opened at the various police stations, or is it a different complaint that is now brought to IDAC about the issues actually raised in those dockets? What was the actual complaint?
I think the issue of the complaint is that he alleges that he opened cases, but his dockets disappeared. I'm just recalling from what was said. And then he alleged the corruption in that referral, which we took our lead from.
Okay. So the complaint wasn't requiring IDAC to investigate the conduct of SAPS by failing to investigate the cases he had opened. That was not the complaint.
The way I look at the 27 referral was to look at his complaint of corruption.
Okay.
The corruption part, not the failure of SAPS to
investigate.
He focused on the corruption.
But he does inform IDAC of the fact that he has opened these dockets at the various police stations.
Yes.
Now, I go back to the question I'd asked, because I need that clarity. You then become aware that he actually has opened actual cases with SAPS. So SAPS is seized with that matter, with those matters. Whether or not it investigates, we'll get to that. At the point you go to SAPS, as IDAC having received the Section 27 referral, I asked, do you ask for the dockets? Is it a request to SAPS? Or are you taking over those dockets and asserting your authority over matters contained in those dockets? What exactly is happening there? I desperately need that clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Commissioner, what I would say from my interpretation is the dockets were requested from SAPS. It was requested.
So if they are requested, then it is open to SAPS to refuse the request. Is that ever an option for SAPS?
Yes, there's a possibility of SAPS refusing.
Okay. And how is this request expressed to SAPS? Is it in writing, maybe to National Commissioner, dear National Commissioner, right, from IDAC, or is it verbal, or is it by showing up at the respective police stations and requesting the documents? My apologies. How exactly is the request made?
I believe that request was done in writing.
It was done in writing.
It was done in writing.
And it would have been by and addressed to who?
It would have been addressed to, I think during the initial part of this request, I was not on the investigation at that stage. So I'm just recalling from what was said. I think it was to the head of the detectives, to the head of detectives, if I can recall, but I'm not too sure, subject to requesting those dockets.
Yes.
And those dockets, as far as I can recall, were lying at the inspectorate and not at the detective or at the station. It was lying at the police inspectorate.
Okay. So the request is made to head of detectives. Of course, you do say subject to correction.
Yes.
But there would be a formal request that we can locate.
Yes.
By, would it be correct to assume at that stage, would it be by the ID, or who within IDAC would address such a request to the head of detectives?
The request would have come from the head of office.
Okay. That's what we call the ID.
Anything will have to go through the head of office before it goes out.
Okay. So I will try and track that down. Thank you so much. That helps.
IDAC, sorry, Mr. Lolo. IDAC would not have been entitled to simply go ahead with the investigations. In terms of Section 27, it would have had to be satisfied that there were reasonable grounds to suspect that a specified offense has been committed. That's what Section 27 says in so many words. So you don't just get into a matter and as you go along, you end up finding that there is indeed something here. And you end up formulating charges and you commence a prosecution. That's not how you do it. You must be satisfied at the point of entry when the person comes to make a Section 27 referral. You must be satisfied that there are reasonable grounds for the person's suspicion.
Yes.
Is that what happened here? Or did IDAC just take on the matter once Mr. Adams came to you to complain about the lack of progress?
The allegations made by Mr. Adams was serious.
No. This is not about the seriousness of the offenses. The antecedent question is there in existence, or are there in existence reasonable grounds for the suspicion that a specified offense has been committed? You don't start at the tail end, which is, but are these serious allegations? The entry point is, this person coming to make a Section 27 referral, does this person have reasonable grounds? And testing reasonable grounds is objective. So you don't rely on what the person says. The question is, objectively, when I look at this, are there indeed reasonable grounds for the suspicion? So that's where my question is. You do not, as you seem to suggest, look at the tail end. Are these serious allegations? And if they are, we go ahead. There may be serious allegations, but serious allegations may be unfounded.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So there must be reasonable grounds for suspecting that a specified offense has been committed, and obviously, or implicit in that, is that the offense has been committed by the person complained against.
Yes, sir.
Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
Can you now respond?
Yes, sir. That referral was sent to the case committee. They looked at that referral. They made a decision that it falls within the IDAC space.
My
so
focus.
The decision on accepting it, and that it has grounds, reasonable grounds or whatever. That reasonableness, the grounds, is determined by that committee that sat there and made that decision, sir. That's the most that I can say on that.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Law.
Thank you, Chair.
Before you,
Yes,
before you
yes,
miss
ma'am.
it. Colonel, Section 27 says a specified offence. So it's a specified offence that gets referred in Section 27, in terms of Section 27, right? Now, you have to look at what is a specified offence, right? It refers to a specified offence, and here specified offence is a defined term. If you go to Section 1, right at the end of that section, just before Section 2, it tells you what is a specified offence. And it says it means a matter which, in the opinion of the head of investigating directorate, falls within the range of matters contemplated in Section 7(1), and any reference to the commission of a specified offence has a corresponding meaning. Now, as Chair pointed out to you, Section 7(1) has been deleted. It used to contain what is a specified offence. Now it's been deleted. So when IDAC receives this referral in terms of Section 27 from Member of Parliament Adams, what does it determine to be a specified offence?
Commissioner Baloyi,
Are you
before the
coming?
Colonel responds, it was brought to my attention, and I forgot somehow in that short space of time. I think Colonel Padayachee spilled water on his table, as I understand, and it's suspect that that's what had affected his mics. So the request had been, can we have a 2-minute stand down to deal with that? Kumalo specifically complained about, and on the basis of which you were issued with a Rule 3 notice. Okay.
But before you go there, can I just get clarity from the Colonel? Colonel, IDAC is part of the NPA, right?
It's correct, sir.
Yeah. Does it ever happen, and I'm not asking you to interpret legislation, just in practice, what you know, does it ever happen that when a case is opened by the SAPS, it gets taken over by IDAC? How does it work if on the same facts, the same issues, somebody went to a police station and opened a case and a docket is opened? How does that in practice reach IDAC? And if there's already a case with SAPS, does it ever happen that IDAC takes over the investigation and runs with it?
So, Commissioner, what I can say there is we would normally get, if SAPS decides they have a case which they want to refer to the investigative director for some other reason, yes. But when you look at a complainant that has referred a matter to SAPS and is not satisfied because alleged corruption or something that's, that he suspects with regards to his case not being investigated properly. So he sets out his facts in that 27 referral, why he didn't go to SAPS, the reasons, whatever, and that's where the case intake committee, I think that they will look at those factors there. I presume that that's what they do there to decide whether, look, it falls within our mandate, no, this should go to SAPS. So it's all what is there in that referral that is there.
So, in the case where there's been a referral first to the SAPS, and then now there's a Section 27 referral, and your committee, your intake committee, has decided that this falls within your mandate, the IDAC mandate, and IDAC takes that over. What does that now not result in parallel cases? If there's no formal takeover from the SAPS, don't you end up with a case within the SAPS because it's been reported in the SAPS system and it's not been withdrawn, but the same case has now been referred to you by the complainant in terms of Section 27? How does IDAC deal with that?
Commissioner, only matter that I can relate to that with something like that, because I hadn't had the experience of yet where there's a docket at SAPS and then IDAC takes it over. The particular situation that where I can personally say, okay, because I know of it, is where dockets was opened by a complainant at various police stations, and then he was not happy, and these dockets, he didn't hear about them, and these dockets were closed. So when that Section 27 referral came, we looked at these cases, we requested the case dockets from the SAPS, and I think it was the inspectorate that had the dockets, but the dockets were closed. And then we took those dockets. We requested them, and we took those dockets to assist us in our investigations. But in other examples where something is that SAPS is already investigating, they're running with that investigation. Like in this particular matter, on one of the legs of the matters that we are busy with, DPCI is already engaged with that, so we are not involved with it, because it's also reported that this particular thing took place. And when we looked at it, it's in DPCI space, we liaise with them, they are busy with their investigations, so that doesn't form part of our leg. We stopped there and we said, no, they're busy with it.
Still at a general level, but using these facts the present facts of the Mukwele matter, but I'm still having a general discussion with you. We know the complainant from other evidence. We know that Member of Parliament Adams, he went to police stations to report before this matter of Mukwele gets escalated through, you say, Section 27 to the IDAC, but we know that he started at police stations. I'm trying to understand that. How do you deal with that kind of situation, which we know is the facts in this case?
Am I getting you clear on that, Commissioner?
Okay, let me try again. Member of Parliament Adams
Commissioner?
goes to a police station to lay a complaint against General Khumalo and others relating to the Mukwele appointment. He does that. And then he decides to refer to IDAC in terms of Section 27, the same complaint. He completes an affidavit and he submits it to IDAC in terms of Section 27. My question is, how does IDAC deal with that? Because on the face of it, it looks like you still have an active complaint under the SAPS system, because it's not been closed or withdrawn, but the same complaint is now with IDAC. How does IDAC manage that?
In the particular matter, Commissioners, a request is made for the dockets with SAPS. And like I said, the dockets were open in Cape Town and other police stations, which found its way to the inspectorate. And we requested those dockets. We said to SAPS, we received a complaint and we require those dockets. So the dockets were given over to us. In the dockets, there was hardly anything in those dockets. So what we did, because there's hardly anything in those dockets, we started to investigate further. So
you took over the SAPS investigation. Yes. Does it mean that investigation that complaint which was lodged at SAPS is now closed? Is that how IDAC deals with it? It's now closed, we are now investigating it. All right, thank you.
And to add more, Commissioner, on the system, on the SAPS system, it will show that dockets are now in possession of IDAC. And IDAC is responsible for that docket, and all the processes that flow must be still reported to keep the CAS system or criminal system updated.
I guess what I was trying to understand is the principal position of, you don't say, but the matter is already with SAPS. IDAC doesn't say that. IDAC takes it over. Takes it over. Okay, thank you.
So you don't have like a duplication running on the same matter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's a matter I was going to seek your explanation on, but now that Commissioner Baloyi has started, I might as well pose my questions. You say that the dockets, and in this specific case, I said let's turn to I'll call it for the Mukwele matter, and I mean no disrespect in so terming it, but just for ease of reference. You say you requested the dockets that Mr. Adams had opened in Cape Town and in Gauteng from SAPS, and then you assumed responsibility for the investigation. My question is, in so doing, is it a negotiated settlement between IDAC and SAPS, or is IDAC asserting its authority that as soon as it receives Section 27, the law empowers it to collect the dockets and take charge of the investigation? Can you explain how that happens? And if you are asserting your authority, it might help if you refer me to a specific section, whether in the NPA Act or any other prescript you can think of. Thank you.
Chair, Commissioner.
Apologies, let's just give the commissioners a moment, thanks. Thank you, Chair. Yes, you may continue. Thanks, Colonel.
Thank you, Council. Chair, Commissioners, when we look at it, IDAC doesn't just go and take dockets. IDAC is tasked with an investigation into which there are allegations made. And in this allegations, the complainant has said that his open dockets, he's believed that his dockets or his cases have been interfered with or whatever from what's there. We requested those dockets, officially requested those dockets to see and verify what the Section 27 or the complainant is saying. So we requested those dockets. When we looked at those dockets and with the referral, it confirmed those dockets do exist and that those dockets were not really investigated. There was just that there was insufficient evidence or whatever in those dockets. Was it like 6 or 7 of them? So from the...
When you say 6 or 7 of them, are you saying there were 6 or 7 different complaints?
When I look at it, the Cape Town dockets and the dockets that were opened here in Gauteng is about basically one and the same thing. It's like duplicated. But
yes.
when you pull the dockets together and it was the affidavit in it mixed everything up. Like in one affidavit, it's talking about the other docket or the complaint in the other docket. It was like mixed up. But basically, when I narrowed it down to 4 different complaints. One of those dockets that as I indicated, was already being investigated by, I think it's DPCI. It had to do with something that was purchased or what. They were busy with that. So that docket there, the actual docket that was opened, we didn't interfere with that docket. We took the remaining dockets and we conducted investigations from there.
When you say the actual docket that was opened, we didn't interfere with it, you seem to distinguish other dockets that were open or not open. Just explain why the one you speak of it as the actual docket that was open, we didn't interfere with it, and then the others, we interfered with them or we dealt with them. Just explain that.
Let me get clarity there, Commissioner. Let me give you clarity there. There were 3 dockets opened in Cape Town, and they were...
And all of them relating...
repeated under a different CAS number. So you had Cape Town CAS 16 something.
Oh, just a minute. Your mics have gone off. And before that, I thought your voice was also fading.
Thank you, Chair. The Cape Town dockets was like 1651, 1652, whatever. Then Gauteng, I'm going to say Gauteng because it's a Londo station, and Valeria.
As in the Protea
Sorry, sir?
Protea as well.
I
Or
picked
not,
up
or am I?
Orlando and
Yes.
Valeria. Those were
Okay. Okay.
those were the CAS numbers.
Maybe I'm mixing up different cases. All
Yes,
right.
So amongst the dockets that were here, one was already being investigated by DPCI, and they had already commenced with that investigation. But the other dockets where nothing was being done in it, it was just, I would say no investigation was done in it. So we signed for the dockets, we took over those dockets, we had a look at the dockets, and we put them together, but this docket and this docket is one. It's the same, and that's how we came up with the different CAS numbers. But what has happened with those dockets, when it was taken either to the case numbers, there was problems with the case numbers. It means that the complainant went to a police station and registered a complaint there that did not belong to that police station. It belonged to another police precinct. So what happened, that case number was put in that docket and went to the new station, but they didn't change the name of the station on that docket. We pick up a particular one, what we will say I'm going to call it the Lushaba matter. We had an original CAS 404, Valeria CAS 404. So we conducted our investigation in respect of, under this CAS 404, and we went through all the processes of it, and until it came to the part where we now had to start with the enrollment processes. And when we checked on the CAS system of the station, that this CAS does not exist. So we had to do a search. The investigating officers had to do a search, and then we established that the correct CAS number was 278 for that docket. So that 404 should have been scratched out, and 278 should have been written on the docket. And then the other cases too as well, 403, 405, they all had Valeria proper CAS numbers. Just the face of the docket was something else.